Hello and welcome to the 2010 Villagers podcast, episode 5. Joining me as always, I've got Mr. Jack Salt and Ash Walker. How are we doing, lads?
Evening, Sam. How are we doing? We alright?
Yeah, a good night last night. We've got plenty to discuss this week.
I think the main question is, has Jack recovered from last night? He's a bit more, he's gone a bit more to his normal.
I thought we were going to need to get St John's ambulance.
St John's, I had the phone on me, the number in my phone ready, I think.
Yeah, I was quite angry to say the least. But
we'll come on to all of that later, but yes, we seem to say this every week, but we have a packed show again tonight. We just want to start by saying some sad news today. We want to say rest in peace to Mr. Frank McLaughlin, who was the secretary at Glasshoughton Welfare, obviously in Ferriby's League. Very sad news. We all know what tireless work people like Frank put into clubs. We see it ourselves at our own clubs. So yeah, rest in peace, Frank, and thoughts with your family and everyone at Glasshoughton, because you're sure to be part of the furniture there. After having a quiet news week last week, we've got quite a lot to talk about on the news tonight. So I think there's only one thing that everyone's talking about at the minute, only one place we can start, and this is the new COVID regulations.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, again, as we've discussed before, this doesn't actually currently, and touch wood, won't affect Ferriby and Ferriby's level, but Boris has basically said that unless there's a significant improvement, which over the winter I find doubtful,
I think it'll get worse.
that basically you won't be going into football stadiums in the next 6 months at elite level, which of course, remember, according to the government, elite level counts as the National League North. Now that's a moment of, that's a thing for debate in itself.
Well, we've had this debate in previous episodes, haven't we?
But what I will say is, can we find some, in our terms, some positives from it? Do we think it's going to benefit clubs at Ferriby's level who are often overlooked by the fans of these bigger clubs? And obviously it's really bad for them, and we know a lot of people, like we use the local example of Hull City, and we know a lot of people who go week in, week out, and people like James, who we had on the show last week. But now the sad reality for those people is if they want to go and watch a match of live football, they're going to have to look around the local area and at teams like Ferriby.
I'm going to start a negative front on this, and I don't think it'll make much impact on attendance, only because a lot of these clubs are going to offer, streaming services. And if you're a fan of that club, they're going to pay it. Premier League clubs anyway, the Premier League's a TV game, it's not a fan game at the Premier League level. Your League 1, your League 2 clubs, have got any sense, are offering cheap streaming services, not like Hull City offering a tenner a match, which is revolting.
This is what I mean. A tenner a match to sit and watch what is not always a reliable stream. £10 a week is a lot of money.
But you die-hard Hull City fans will pay that.
That's the question you've got to ask though, isn't it? Would you rather sit in front of your TV, pay a tenner to watch a dodgy stream to watch City, or would you rather pay a £5, get out of the house, go to some decent football?
Unfortunately, this isn't that's our mindset, but a lot of people are obsessed with their football club and will not do it because they can't. And the thing is, at that level, it's a TV game, really.
It
is more suited for the TV at the minute, and unfortunately, it's become even more, familiar with people just watching it on TV, sat at home. I'd encourage anybody to go out and watch a game of football.
100%.
But unfortunately, I don't think people will in that mass numbers that we want.
No.
Now, looking at the attendances last night, some clubs saw an increase. Was that just because it was the first game? In a month, we'll know. But I worry that people won't. Especially in this area, because we are in a very snobby area for football. Very snobby. Which is a worrying thing.
And obviously a lot of people's favourite team are on Sky every week nowadays, because there's a lot of closet Leeds fans around here, isn't there? So,
that's the thing. Leeds are the biggest club in this area. Hull City fans can say they are. There's more Leeds fans in this area than there are Hull City fans. It's not even close, probably.
But just bringing it down to non-league level then, quickly. I'll get both your opinions on this. If you were the National League or the National League North, would you now make a conscious decision that it would be better financially to not play this season?
Yeah. I'd say, forget it. Say to the players, thank you for signing up for us, but go and find another club who can give you some money, go and play football, because we can't offer that. It's not financially viable for clubs at that level to play without fans.
100%.
Even in League 1 and League 2 it's not.
Yeah.
How are Accrington Stanley going to cope? Seriously.
Yeah. I know, it's going to be tough for a lot of clubs, so yeah, we discussed this on the way back last night, didn't we? How these clubs are going to do under these new situations, which it's a tough one because, like you said, the players have got to play football. These are players that in the National League, all of these players are players that are wanting to break through to that top level, and if they're not playing football, they're not going to do that. Time is of the essence here, and if they've got an opportunity to play football, whether they're allowed to, obviously they're not going to get paid nearly as much as they are, but if they want to get out there and want to play football, they need to realise that the football is available. Unfortunately, they've just got to look a bit further down. But for the clubs at this level, it's not necessarily a bad thing. You've got a higher calibre of player coming down to the level, coming down to the leagues, a bit more exposure. Hopefully a bit more exposure for your club. I mean, we said this when we signed Danny East, didn't we? It was just coming down from that level.
I'm not sure many clubs at that level could afford to play like Danny East.
100%.
I think that's probably I don't think it'll trickle down as much.
It probably won't come down. It probably won't come down to our level. I admit. But your likes of the Northern Premier League,
we could get them. us, we could get them. Winston probably could get a couple.
Yeah.
Selby.
It's a good point.
But it's just going to be very interesting to see how those two non-league levels that are involved in this, which I think is a farce, but that's a whole other debate. What the decision they're going to come to on this.
Well, I'm just going to say, I'm just glad Boris wasn't watching #United the other night.
Oh God!
I think that was a disgrace for a pathetic little football club like that to potentially ruin everybody's chances of watching football. I think was scary. Scary. And I hope we get them in a cup game one day, take over their little shithole of the ground, show them what a proper football club looks like. You know, that's what a proper football club looks like. A club like that wouldn't work in the north of England. Sorry to make it sound like that. Only work in Essex when they ain't got a bloody brain, have they?
Wow! Evening, Spencer, if you're watching.
Well, somebody's
I'm not in the mood.
No, I agree with you.
Well, I saw grown men running on the pitch, and I thought, if you're a grown man supporting that football club, get a grip.
I mean, they're the type of people who want to be on Arsenal fan TV, aren't they, that support a club like #United.
For people who put a lot of work in, like Les, Andrew, the secretary, Jack with social media, who put tireless amount of work in, and then seeing that, it's just disgusting because they don't get it. They don't get it.
No.
When we go to a football club, we appreciate and we are considerate of the rules. You cannot go to a game and be like that.
No.
At all.
Agreed. I think it's dangerous to move to this section now because it's on one. But
right now.
It's over to you, Jeff.
Right. Okay. So lots of games to go through. So I've selected some. All the games from our league last night. Dronfield 0, Swallowness 3. Right. I'm going to say some things now. And I'm going to apologise because I'm going to sound like I'm back in Jamie Waltham here, but I'm not. East Hull 1, Amthorpe 0, and who predicted that they'd win in the car last night?
No, you did, Ash. Fair play, and it's a good job you're not in the Super 6 because you'd have done well with that, whereas a lot of people didn't.
They were dancing in the streets of Dunswell last
They're
night.
a different team this year. They're a different side. They will not be as bad as they were last season. They might still struggle, but they won't be as bad. They've sorted themselves out a little bit. Moving on. Hall Road 1, Parkgate 1. Hallam 2, Retford 2. I was going to mention the attendance there last night. 281.
Good attendance.
That's good.
281
Very
for Hallam.
good.
I have not mentioned their score from Saturday, but there was a way at their score, Hallam. 300.
Wow.
Harrogate Railway 1, North Ferriby 1. We'll come to that. Selby 1, Emily 4.
That's a big statement from Emily.
Can't wait for next Tuesday. Wesborough 1, Campion 4. There's 2 games tonight. We've got Brigg versus Nostell. I don't think anything's more Counties League than that.
Brigg against Nos.
And then Winterton versus Rossing, so it'll be interesting to see how Winterton shape up tonight. Saturday we was in the FA Vars. I've just picked a couple of results. Brigg 2, Winterton 3. Goole 7, Cheadle Heath Nomads 3.
Cheadle.
Just for the name, I've picked them. Hall Road 2, Barnton 4. Liverland 1, Selby 2. Charnock Richard 3, Barton 0.
I'm sorry. Charnock Richard.
Charnock Richard 3, Barton 0.
Jesus, right.
And then we had 2 league games. Campion 1, Glasshoughton 0. Skegness 1, Dronfield 3. So either Skegness are bad or Swallownest are very, very good.
The Swallownest are going to win the league. Looking at that, we said they had quite a good pre-season, but I think it might be more of a case that Skeggy had an off day. But it just goes to show that, you know, if we were all bitterly disappointed last night. If you look at the early results, Skegness got beat, Selby got beat,
Hallam only drew.
Hallam drew, Campion made a statement, although I think Weresborough are poor.
Well, they've got 6 points, Campion. They did beat Glasshoughton as well.
Yeah, so they've made a great start. We're yet to see Winterton because they play tonight.
Oh, just kicked off.
Yeah.
1-0 up, already.
You've forgotten someone again. What did Nunsthorpe do?
Oh, Nunsthorpe! They won 4-3.
They won!
Yeah, won 4-3.
First league win of the season.
You sprung that on him, do you know? I'm surprised it was.
Appleby Frodringham.
Wow.
Well done, boys.
Nunsthorpe.
Well done,
lads. Fantastic.
As always.
I'm still waiting for them to messages about 6-a-side game, but they haven't yet.
Oh, we'll get them eventually.
I'm gutted. So yeah, a bit of a shorter Jeff tonight.
Yeah.
Nobody's complaining.
Well, there'd have been about 100 FA Vars fixtures. I've had to really scroll through them.
You had to.
But Cheadle Heath Nomads had to get a mention.
That was maybe why he still was so fresh and won last night, because they couldn't even be bothered to register for the Vars.
Yeah.
So
I think it got lost in the post.
I think it maybe did. Yeah.
Jamie probably put a wrong stamp over King George's 6 fans.
The check
not at this address.
Yeah.
The check bounce for the registration.
You probably registered them as East Yorkshire Can.
Cheers, Jeff.
Right, final section of the news. We have to touch on what's going on at Selby. Now, we can't, you don't want to say too much about this. Everyone knows the story, they know the player involved, and they know the well-documented history of what's gone on. That's all we'll say on that score. What we wanted to mention is, why did Selby think, who made that decision and who thought that was a good decision? So after the backlash of the first time they played him as a trialist, right? To then think, right, we'll try and get him back in, and think that people won't kick off, and it's now got that serious that sponsors are pulling out. Now at this level, if a big sponsor pulls out, that's a big deal.
Especially in this economic climate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I just don't understand the logic there.
Selby won Emily 4 might have something to do with it.
Well, yes, and they haven't been great in pre-season, and certain player who I won't even mention his name, but you know he would score goals at this level probably, which is probably why they've looked at it.
Yeah.
But I just think they need to put this to bed now, Selby, because they've come out of it and they look really bad out of it.
They looked ridiculous as a club. If you come out originally and say you were not signing a player, you do not go back and sign that player. It doesn't make sense. The PR team at Selby needs sacking.
So you've sacked Winterton's Twitter team,
Yeah,
and you've sacked Selby's PR team so far. We've only been on 5 weeks.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry.
No, I agree. I agree.
If that was my football club, I wouldn't go.
No, and you've seen people on social media who say they won't go.
It's ridiculous.
It's shocking.
And I wonder how much of that had an impact on last night. The whole mess around the club. I wonder how much that got to the players.
Yeah.
The mentality.
Probably.
But what a mess. What a mess.
It is.
And are there players thinking, God, are we really that bad that they've now tried twice to force this player into the squad?
It does seem like they're forcing it. They registered him last season, didn't they, as well? Before he went
Can't remember now.
back in.
So it's we won't say anymore, but I think this needs sorting out, because it's not good for Selby and it's not good for the league either.
When you go to Selby, they're a nice club, to be fair, Selby. Well, I thought they were. And this is a bit of a shame, to be honest. They've kind of tarnished their reputation. Because, I mean, football clubs should not be doing this. It's just wrong. It's wrong.
Right, let's talk some Ferriby now, haven't we?
Do we have to?
Well, yeah, I'm afraid we do.
I don't think it's
I'm afraid
safe.
we do. So we're going to have to go over it, lads. I think we all fell into the trap of thinking it was going to be...
What did I say, 5-0?
Going to be reasonably simple night last night, but as you probably know, we went to Harrogate Railway, who, for people who don't know, obviously only finished above East Hull last season before the...
What was the stat we got told? They've only won how many games?
13 out of the last 100 games or something.
Yeah. Well, we didn't lose.
So...
We're not number 14.
We went to Harrogate Railway, drew 1-1. We'll talk about our night experience later when we do the away ground review, but on the game, made a great start, great free kick from Jamie Forrester. We looked bright, we had energy, we looked like we were trying to take the game to them. They looked, like we said when we were watching the warm-ups, they looked like a very young, inexperienced side.
2 17-year-olds, 4 18-year-olds.
Yeah, and their oldest player was what, 27?
27, the striker, yeah, the chairman said.
Yeah. So, you know, they were... If we could have got another goal quite quickly after the first, that would have been a simple night.
We said it was easy. We scored the goal, and we kind of... we controlled the game, where they didn't look like they were going to score, but it just went a bit pear-shaped so far, didn't it?
Yes, and this is where I'll bring Jack in. Obviously, it was not a great second half. At 1-1, obviously Danny East was sent off. And then we had a goal disallowed that, I mean, I'm sorry, but it's an absolute farce of a decision. It was onside, it was a mile onside. Danny Emerton was too quick for their defender. He went round him and it was a brilliant finish into the bottom corner, and it should have been even more of a reward for Danny Emerton's second man of the match performance in a row, because he was Ferriby's best player again. And yeah, it wasn't long before the end, and that was really, really gutting, Jack. And the whole night, you know, it felt a bit like a defeat, to be honest.
Yeah, I think you're right. I walked out the ground last night feeling like we got beat, because that is one of those games that we know we're more than capable of winning. It's just one of those that just didn't happen on the night. The first 20 minutes we were fantastic, like you said. We were moving the ball really well, showing like we've done all pre-season. Then it just kind of stopped, didn't it? We didn't.
Yeah.
From that 20 minutes going into half time, then
it stopped when Forrester's goal hit the net.
Yeah. It just didn't seem to work. We weren't passing the ball well enough, and we weren't creating enough chances. And obviously going into the second half, Eastie knows what he's done. He's the most experienced player on the pitch. He knows he was silly. But the way I see it is something's happened for him to retaliate like that. But you can't excuse it. He'll know he can't excuse it. Chris knows he can't excuse it. You can't do that in this day and age, because the referees are so whistle and card happy.
Well, that linesman and the referee last night.
But even, I think what makes it worse is I'm not going to say too much, because
I said it all last night.
I said it all last night. If you was around me, I apologise. But what annoys me the most is the linesman on the far side has seen the stamp on Danny East clearly. Chris and Rob have questioned him. Why can't you give it then? I'm too far away. But you've got a lineswoman on this side, right in front of it, can't see it. And this goal...
She didn't see a lot though, to be fair.
This goal, and it doesn't matter who it is. Honestly, it does not matter who it is. This goal is at least 3 yards onside. Like you said, Sam, Danny Emerton is quicker than the defender. He's got a better starting position. He's gone straight past him. But I think the problem is the positioning of the linesman. The play was here. The linesman, and this was constantly in the second half, was back here.
She was playing catch up with herself.
And I think what makes it most annoying is the fact that it was a guess.
Yeah.
It was I've got to do something here. What can I do? Quick, I'll put the flag up.
We were stood right behind it, and you could see from her body language that she guessed.
It was very hesitant.
She slowly put it on his neck.
You can tell, but unfortunately, that is going to happen this year. The standard of officiating in this league is extremely poor. We've had a year at it. We know that, but we have to manage the game better than that to not have to be in that situation.
Totally agree. Yeah. Totally agree. I do think, on a positive note, what I will say is, and this quite often happens, obviously we went down to 10 men and you've explained about Eastie, and you know, he'll come back from this, and you know, it wasn't a great night for him, but you know, it's one of those things. but it fired Ferriby
I
up.
think it woke us up.
And
Yeah.
the impact of the bench.
Yes.
Again, Tom Corner was fantastic when he came on.
Yeah.
He nearly changed that game. Obviously, he had the chance where he hit the bar, but he caused them a hell of a lot of problems. And their fans were saying, "God, why did you not have him on from the start?"
It was a chairman, wasn't it? It was, why was he not starting? Why was he not starting, that fella?
He's put a great claim in for himself to be back in that starting 11 because he was brilliant. Corner.
He was.
And another one I'd like to mention, Danny Buttle. How good has he been?
What a weapon that is, that throw he's got.
That's Josh Dennett.
Oh, that's sorry.
Danny Buttle down the left-hand side, some brilliant crosses.
Quick.
It was pace. We love Jamie Forrester. We've seen everything that Jamie Forrester can do. But Danny Buttle is a pure, born and bred left midfielder that will go around the attacker, will cross the ball. And we saw with the Tom Corner header hit the bar.
Yeah.
He beat his man, got the ball, and Tom should have scored, but they happen.
Yeah.
He's hit the bar. It was those chances that we weren't creating. And like you just said, Sam, that throw that Josh Dennett has, it's just a shame. I spoke to Les about this earlier. It's a shame that we didn't bring him on 10 minutes earlier, because I don't think we know what sort of a weapon that is.
No, I don't think they knew either.
No, that will cause teams trouble this year.
That going to Tom Corner and others in the box. I mean, honestly, people talk about like Rory Delap and things back in the day. I've never seen a throw like that.
It was from the halfway line.
The power he gets behind it.
What I don't understand is he has 2 feet. He's got 2 foot to the barrier. It was just in front of us, wasn't it? 2 feet to the barrier, and he's still hitting the penalty spot. That is it's better than a cross.
Yeah.
It's better than going down the line and putting a cross in.
Other points from the game. I thought, they battled. They had chances. They were a good football inside.
They battled their little hearts off last night.
They did. They did, in fairness. And they and as their goalkeeper pointed out to us, they absolutely loved.
Well, Jack's got a new friend.
Taking a point off us.
What was it he was saying to you?
Big old North Ferriby.
Yeah.
After you said it was their cup final.
But it was.
It's everybody's cup final.
That's the problem. It's everybody's.
But can I say, I've got a lot of respect for that football club.
Absolutely. What a nice run.
Very much.
A lovely chairman.
Oh,
very nice. Salt of the earth. Pitch, bit slopey, but we'll play on worse.
Did you know the pitch was slow?
Oh my God! How many times did we hear?
I honestly.
I think we headed walked into that bar.
I thought
the pitch is sloped. The pitch is sloped. So yeah.
Fair play to them. They're a great club, a great setup. We've been to a lot worse, and there was some very, very nice people talking to the chairman and all the others. Just a very nice, friendly community club, and I hope they do well this season.
Yeah, no, I echo that.
I agree.
100%.
I agree because they put a lot in those players, and I hope they do well. Just one last point on that game. Can we have the green away shirt and black shorts combo again, please? Because I love that.
Yeah.
I thought that looked quality.
Yeah.
It looked nice, didn't it? Obviously, Harrogate playing. It was more red than green.
It was orange.
It's like an orange.
It was weird, wasn't it? It was sort of like a neon red almost. But yeah, the black shorts went well with it. I think Sean the Kitman was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I think he was. So frustrated last night. We weren't frustrated on Saturday when we defeated St Helens in the FA Vars 2-0. It was a beautiful day down at the Dransfield. Decent crowd in. Delayed kick-off due to St Helens having some problems on the motorway.
Team pottedness, I think.
Yes.
I don't understand, why would you put 8 players on a bus?
Because that club makes no sense.
They didn't seem to know really what they were doing, did they? But, in fairness, they didn't play that badly.
Well, to be honest, I thought it was crap.
We'll see.
A better team would have given us a better game than that. They didn't offer anything.
No, they didn't really.
They were garbage. They were happy with a 2-0 win. It felt like a pre-season friendly, though. We didn't even have to try. It felt like a pre-season friendly.
I think that when we scored the first goal, the heads kind of dropped.
They weren't very good.
Yeah.
We're going to come up against a lot better teams.
Well, we'll come up against a lot better in the next round in Northwich.
Yeah.
I mean, God, what a tie that is. But there's one thing I can't move off this game without saying, and that is Emma.
Danny.
How good was Danny Emerton on Saturday?
He was
exceptional.
Unbelievable.
He was exceptional.
The goal is pure class.
Great finish.
And he ripped them to bits in Emma. He showed what he really is capable of, and like I say again, in my opinion, he was our best player again last night.
100%.
Yeah.
He was, he's had a great start to the season.
Yes.
Like you say, Ash, it was comfortable at home.
We were just
cruising.
cruising.
We did cruise that game, and like Chris himself said after the game, we did fall a bit guilty of sitting back a little bit too much second half. But we got through it. We got the clean sheet. Yeah. We're into the next round. So, all in all, not a bad start to the season. I would have liked to have seen us win last night.
Yeah.
And it's now an important game against Hall Road on Saturday at the Dransfield. So we're looking forward to that one.
I'm not.
No, because you're not going again. Sorry, viewers, but it'll be just a duo again on Saturday.
I'll be there on Tuesday.
Well done.
Yeah.
I don't do Tuesday nights. I don't.
I apologise.
Anyway, we'll have to be a bit happier with him now because he's going to have to dig his hand in his pocket and he's going to have to dig it in quite far because we're going to do the forfeits. Now, I'm afraid this is going to end up costing us a fortune.
Mr. East.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Saturday, we'll start off with Saturday. So it's £1 per player per clean sheet. So Ash was Jamie Forrester, Levi Tarbottom and Danny East, £3. I was Danny East and Nell Thorpe, £2. You were Danny East and Tom Corner, £2. Right? Then we get to last night. Now, of course, as we've already mentioned, £5 each going in the tin for the red card for Danny East. Unfortunately, but we set out the rules and it's one of those things, so we're gonna have to we'll pay it out.
Bloody hell.
Honesty's a good thing to have.
But I'm afraid the night got better or worse, whichever way you look at it, for us, because before the red card,
better. Don't put the worst into there.
Levi had already gone in the book, so there's another.
To be fair, we was worried. That was
I was worried.
So there's another £2, and of course Jamie Forrester got the free kick goal, so there's another £2. So that's £9 from last night for you, Ash. So £12 altogether for the two games.
So yeah, I've got it.
There you go.
I've got it.
£12 going in.
Robbed HSBC today, but
So my share is £7 going in, and you need some change.
I will be getting my change after the show, but I'll put that in now.
I think we know why Les signed Danny East now, don't we?
100%, just to get us out of pocket.
But that's a good start for the club anyway. And one last one, obviously £1 for the clean sheet for Scott Phillips for James on Saturday as well, which we will make sure we get off him at some stage.
Yes.
Next up is Super 6. Now, thanks to everyone that entered. We had a good take up on that. Really pleased. Good start to our fundraising for the season. Everyone got their answers in before 7 o'clock last night, which is always good. We've had, to get the first round, everyone in. And we've got 4 people who are joint top on an amazing total of 4 points. It's fair to say it wasn't a great night on the predictions.
I think there was a few shocks last night, wasn't there?
So, congratulations to Riley Somerville, Jill King, Richard Utley, and my mother, who are all on 4 points, and that is the God's honest truth. That is not me doing those predictions. That is my mum, and these two will vouch that as well.
She was very happy with
my
prediction.
She was. Yeah. We got in and she said, "Oh, if you need anything to know to do with football, just ask me." She predicted us to draw 1-1 last night. I mean, how outrageous is that?
I know I've had words with her about that, but we will be sending out this week's fixtures shortly, so look out for those and get your predictions in for Saturday.
Some good games this week.
Yes.
Games this Saturday.
Yeah.
I chose them this week.
Oh God. Right. Okay. Next up, it's the one we've been waiting for.
Hallelujah!
It's the return of Pies, Pints and Pissers. Here we go. It's been a long wait,
It has.
but it's back.
It seems like ages.
It does. And don't worry, Harrogate, you've done well.
You have.
You've done well.
I don't think there'll be many beating on this.
You've done better than Maltby May.
So, obviously, we'll have to say thank you to Kev Deaton, who me and Jack know well from our Hull FC travels. He was sponsoring the game last night with his company and invited us as his guests, or 2 of his guests anyway, and plus a few others. And we had some food before the game. We had a few drinks. Obviously, you were driving, unfortunately for yourself.
I got some Coke, so we're okay.
Yeah. The bar, that whole building, very nice setup in there.
Lovely.
I think it helps them. They've got the rugby club. But yes, it is.
Well, that's theirs, isn't it? That clubhouse is theirs.
Yeah, they own
No,
that.
they own all the land, so to be fair to them. I don't think we'll go into many clubhouses that'll be better than that. But yeah.
No, so we'll start with the food. So, obviously we had the sponsorship.
We were on the complimentary sandwiches.
Yes.
Which were good. Good sandwiches.
It was a decent amount of food each.
Good sausage roll.
Jack sampled the food in the ground.
It was good.
I was.
It was very
I'm
nice.
sure they were finished when they went ping, though. I think they were microwaved.
No, I saw them fry them myself.
And they were cheap as well, weren't they?
I got portion chips and I had to buy his lordship a cup of tea.
I did deduct it off the petrol money.
Even though he had complimentary cup of tea. But anyway, that was only £2.40. So yeah, it was good food, well, relatively priced.
Right. So what we're saying? 7, 8,
7.
I'm going to give it a 7.
7.
I can't give them any more because I didn't sample the normal punters food.
Right. Okay.
I think 7's
We'll go 7. Pints then.
not going to complain.
Clubhouse, amazing.
Selection.
Plenty to offer.
Yeah, you know what? Let's give them a 9.
I think it's a
Let's go for a 9.
I think it has to be a 9.
I
It has
agree.
to be a 9.
Isn't that, not that I drink it, but they've got a good choice. IPA, good lagers, Foster's and Stella, I think it was.
Yeah, they've got a 9, we're happy with that.
Absolutely.
Happy with that.
Doing well, and then the toilets.
Well,
I never sampled the toilets.
I walked up
Inside
to them.
I did.
I walked up to them, the ones in the ground, the outside, the ones inside the ground, and I thought, oh dear, these look a little bit, these look good. They're like a porter cabin. But when you walked in, they were okay.
They were massive.
Yeah.
They were a lot bigger than I thought. Good toilets, good, they were clean.
And also, they had every other one,
Yeah.
especially the one in the clubhouse.
Yeah, I know,
it was
yeah.
marked out COVID-wise as
Yeah.
well, so you got to compliment on that.
You know what? 9.
9 again. 9 again. So what? 8. That's 26 out of 30 for Harrogate.
I don't think we'll go to many.
I don't think we'll go to many better grounds than that. Obviously, we didn't get to go there last season, so it was our first time.
Can I deduct a mark for the slope on the pitch?
No, you can't.
That's not part of the PPP criteria.
No. Because it has, and they have a media office as well, which was a cracking little hole in the wall.
It was a hut.
It's a hole in the wall, wasn't it? But no, what a cracking place. I'm in love with Harrogate Railway right now. I go by sheds.
That is Northern Counties to the T.
I mean, we needed a pint, me and you, didn't we, after doing the 3-mile long march that we had to do to get to the ground because of how far away parked.
It was round the corner.
It took him about 8 times to park on a curb as well.
It did actually. That was quite funny.
Yes,
that was funny
funny.
watching that. Yes,
Well
but no, very good, and well done Harrogate Railway, and we all really enjoyed our trip there last night.
I take it they're leading.
Well, of course they are.
it's better than Maltby.
We had them Maltby and Knaresborough
So we've got Emily coming up.
and Glasshoughton. Now me and Jack have got a bit of a thing with Glasshoughton because we went last season, so we sort of know what to expect.
They might have upgraded it massively, you never know.
I doubt it.
They might not have done as well. Okay, so next up, I think this has been quickly put together this week, but
No, I came home from school today and I've sat down and I've done some research. And we've got some quiz questions.
he is a teacher, folks. He's not still
Yeah.
at school. Just
Yeah.
He might
I know he
have
seems a bit dim, but
Well, okay, can I start now?
Come on then, Mr. Walker.
Okay, so a bit of a teaser for memory lane here. We're going to talk about our first game at Stockport. In our second season, though, in the National League North, we played Stockport away in our opener. What was the score and who scored?
1-1 Adam Boulder.
No. What was the score and who scored?
Did we win 1-0?
We did win 1-0.
Adam Boulder.
No.
Was it It wasn't Matty Wilson.
It was Matty Wilson.
Was it actually?
So I'm going to give you a point for each of those. 2-0.
I'm sure we played Stockport and Adam
That
Boulder
was the
scored.
season after. It was a Tuesday night, that one. I didn't go.
No, I was on holiday. Oh, that's gutting.
I remember watching it.
So you've got a chance for this one. So, we played a famous 1-1 draw with Salford in their heyday in the National League North. We drew 1-1. Who scored our equaliser?
God, that's a tough question.
What's this, Conference North?
Yeah. Bear in mind, at this point, we were dead as a football club.
So this was Howsham Conference North.
No, this was Boulder Conference Off. This is when we had the Gypsy King in charge.
God, God, who did we have?
It's on the documentary, the Salford documentary, when we get called a pub team by...
was it a striker?
It was a striker by the old fella. But,
what?
No, I'm not saying the manager calls us a little pub team.
Oh, what was... Oh, the striker. What was his name?
Kendall.
No.
God, Sam,
I can't remember his name.
No, not the
God.
Kendall.
What was his name?
Umbalu.
No,
God,
it's
Wolf and Gordon,
It's
didn't
not
he?
Hutchinson. Oh, I
Wolfen
can
drove
picture him.
to Birmingham
I
himself.
can picture who it is. I will get it.
Bridge manager.
No.
Oh,
You're getting closer.
Sick. I
One
know
as good as-
exactly who it
One as
is.
good as I knew.
I know exactly who it is. He scored a few goals for
You
us.
see,
didn't he?
you see him at the club now and then.
Might not be who I think it is then.
You're going to have to tell us.
James Nichols.
Ugh.
Was it? Well, it wasn't who I was thinking.
God.
Right, so that's 2-0 to Salt.
James Nichols.
Battering you. Salford went down to 10 men in that game. I think me and Nicky went to it.
No, I didn't. I wasn't there.
Yeah, we sat in the stand. Right, 3 players. I've been quite tricky this week. Quite proud of myself.
God.
I'll start with this one. He was a winger. Okay, it was a good. It was okay as a winger. It was one of Billy's favourites.
Jamie Yates.
No, not Jamie Yates. I think we're saying from Matlock. I think he's a manager in our league now. But he's known for us by one.
Ben Hunter. Lammy.
Lammy, yeah.
Lammy.
Well done, so it's 2-1.
Oh no, that.
Lammy! Lammy! Good old Billy. Right,
Big bad Billy.
This player, this is for 2 points, was a central midfielder. We got on loan from Middlesbrough.
Robbie Tinkle.
Oh,
Yeah.
too quick for me.
So that's 4-1.
I didn't know that.
So this is to tie the game. In our promotion season to the from the Northern Premier League, we signed this left back / left midfielder. Don't know where from.
Ryan Williams.
No.
Tom Davey.
It was quite It was getting on a bit. He didn't. I don't think he played that many games. He was solid. So I think he went to Scarborough after we sold him.
Oh,
Get from Buxton.
not Ridley, is it?
It is. He's pulled it back. It's 4-4.
Have you got time?
Which means I now have to think of a tie-break question. I did have one in my head and I can't remember it.
As a surprise.
Bear with me. We haven't got all day, have we? No, I'm going to call it a draw this week.
Okay.
I'm not there on Saturday, so that's a benefit. Fine.
Okay, that's fine. I'm happy to call it.
Right, we'll call it a draw.
I'll put an extra question in next week.
I think I got the better answers. I won't lie, but
Steve Ridley.
That's debatable.
That brings back memories of one of my favourite ever away games for Ferriby, Steve Ridley, but I won't go on. Right, memory lane. Where we're going this week?
We're going to Lancashire, or Cheshire, wherever it is. We're going to Stockport, we're going to Edgeley Park.
Oh,
Wow. 23rd of November 2013.
what a day.
Anyone want to guess the attendance?
2,800.
2,600.
Sam, you can have the extra point for that. 2,608. So Sam wins a quiz.
Nice.
Our team, we had Adam Nicklin in goal, Paul Robson at right back, a centre-half partnership of Matt Wilson and Greg Anderson, Nathan Peter left back, Danny Clark on the right, in central midfield we had Liam King and Russell Fry, Jamie Yates on the left, and up front we had Anthony Wilson and Nathan Jarman. We made one sub during the game. Jonathan Delia came on for Jamie Yates.
Go on, JD.
And the 4 subs, Anthony Pecora, Tim Taylor, Louis Bruce, Ryan Kendall. We all know who scored the goals that game.
We do.
Anyone know who scored for Stockport?
Oh, yeah, I do know, but
Phil Jevons.
Phil Jevons.
Phil Jevons, yeah. I've done enough talking now, so I'm not even talk about the game.
No,
Well,
it
where
was,
do you start with this game?
that was one of those days where we said to ourselves, what the hell are we doing going to play Stockport at Edgeley Park? And we all went there and thinking, oh, we're going to get beaten.
No, I knew we was going to win.
We might as well accept it now, but we're going to have a good day.
We was always going to win that game. That was Billy's bread and butter going to places like that.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, that game was known for the 2 goals. This may have been the year after, so please correct me if I'm wrong. The Adam Nicklin save that was basically in the goal that he's clawed out.
I think that was that game. I think
that was basically in, and I don't know how. I wasn't in the stand at the time. I was walking around. I do not know how Adam Nicklin saved it, but he did.
Well, that was Adam Nicklin.
Absolutely, but yeah, the 2 goals from Anthony Wilson, and I'll never forget the pictures of us in front of that electric scoreboard.
Well, was it County 1, N Ferriby 2, and I'll always remember that. Walking onto that stand, and all the Ferriby fans that turned up, it was a brilliant day, right? Yeah. They'd never heard of us. They didn't have a clue who we was. They was like, what the hell is this that's turned up here? You know, when they used to be playing in the Championship. But what a performance! And this is what I was saying when we were picking our all-time 11 about Anthony Wilson. Yeah. He had the ability to take a game like that and kill it for us, and that is what he did in that game.
Well,
he couldn't deal with him. His second goal was just superb.
He killed the Jordan Fag bowler, didn't he, for the second goal? But there's always one thing that comes up every time.
I'm not finished on the game yet. I know what you're going to say, but we'll come back to that.
We all know what you're going to say.
Just how good was it though? Like Jack said, as a fan of a team like Ferriby, when you realised at that point we were going to places, alright, Stockport had a fall from grace and that's why they were there, but you know, they've not exactly gone firing back up, have they? So, you know, it was one of them that made you proud to be a Ferriby fan.
I think pride's a good description of that game, to be honest.
We played with that, we battled, and we, you know, we were Little North Ferriby, but we went there and we beat them.
It was typical Billy Heath, wasn't it? Going away from home, dominating the game and squeezing it out. You can't moan, can you?
But, go on, tell your story.
But there is one part of this day that will never be beaten.
Living infamy this day.
I don't know if any of you have ever heard a little radio programme called 606.
Unfortunately, we didn't get on 606.
We nearly did.
Well,
we were told that we were going to get rung back.
Our friend Reese rang them up, didn't he? I want to talk about Ferriby.
Why do you want to talk about?
Bear in mind, we couldn't hear what the woman was saying on the phone.
No.
Anthony Wilson. I mean, it was and he went on for 20 minutes, didn't he? And he put the phone down and he went, "They're going to ring me back." And unfortunately, to this day, that phone call has never happened. So
unfortunately, Savage, what you doing?
Fortunately, Reese didn't get his name on the radio.
That was a shame. I mean, we were all a bit pissed about that stage. But I mean, that was funny. Yeah, just having this. You could just imagine the poor researcher woman at the other end of the phone talking up to this.
To this pisshead from all
going, "Oh, talk about North Ferriby." What the hell's North Ferriby?
Stockport.
But no, what a day.
Funny.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was one of those days that you'll always remember. Sorry.
No, excuse you.
Yeah.
Yeah, good one.
Fantastic.
God, we have some good memories, don't we?
It's hard to pick. I was driving home from school thinking, what game shall I pick? We only had about 5 different games today, and I picked that one. We teased the Macclesfield one on the Twitter, didn't we?
We did, but I don't think he could cope talking about
2 weeks. Your birthday special.
I've got 2 weeks to prepare myself.
So we've got one more, and then the Macclesfield game will be that one. So, yeah.
Yeah, because there's a reason that it's my birthday special, isn't there?
Yes.
Macclesfield.
It might have to be after 10 o'clock, that one.
It's only him. He was the only one who didn't enjoy himself. But anyway, we'll come to that.
I nearly made one of those police and crime TV programmes that night. But yes, we shall come on to that at a later date.
Right, next up then, same as last week, because the games are coming thick and fast to kick off the season. So we've got 2 previews to do. First of all, Hull Classico on Saturday as we welcome Hall Road Rangers to the Dragsfield.
Hull Classico. Hull Classico's East Hull and Hall Road Rangers. We're in a tier above those 2.
Yeah, we are, but we can't have that attitude on Saturday because we need to win.
Well, you'll find out what I think about that game in a minute.
You're not going, so...
Well, you never know. I might be able to sweet talk my way around.
Yeah, and I might become an old Kingston Rovers pass all day. It's not going to
I've
happen.
heard you swaying that way.
You want a seat at this table. Right then.
That's also reason, shall
Right
we?
then, Jack. Look, so 2 points dropped, I think we all agree, last night. Therefore, a home game against Hall Road, we need to get back on the horse on
100%.
Saturday.
Sam, we've always said, I don't care whether it's Hall Road, I don't care whether it's Emley, I don't care whether it's Skeggy. I fancy us to beat anybody on our home pitch.
Agreed.
They can be the best side in the league, they can be the worst side in the league. And Hall Road is one of those games, it's going to be another one where the team's going to play up to us. We know that. We've got to learn how to deal with that factor now, which I think we sort of lacked in a way on Tuesday. But at home, they'll have the tails on the backsides, they'll be ready for it, they'll be ready to play Hall Road. And let's be fair, we want to beat Hall Road more than some of the other teams in the league. Hall Road are one of these sides where if you think you've beat, when we beat Hall Road, we can say, right, shut up now.
Through the Turnstiles page that night, I think, don't you?
Yeah, I believe so. But yeah, it'll be a good game. Hall Road are a good side, they're an improved side. They're obviously got James Pacey, who we lost and spoke about the other day.
He'll be wanting to prove a point.
He will, 100%. But yeah, I mean, they've got some good players. I mean, we didn't really have much difficulty at home against them last year. I probably expect that to be the case again on Saturday. But I don't think we can go into it like we did last night with the attitude that, oh well, we've won this easy, we don't need to turn up. And I think last night we came a cropper of that, and I don't think it'll happen again.
Can I do my prediction now?
Prediction?
Yeah.
We'll get to predictions at the end.
I think it's going to be a tough game. If we were playing any other team on Hall Road, I'd be confident. They'll want it a lot. I'm not going to sit here and say we won. I'm terrified, if I'm perfectly honest, of playing Hall Road on Saturday. If we were playing Nostell at home, I'd sit there and go, yeah, fair enough. But to Hall Road, this is huge. This is huge for them, and I'm worried. We should have enough. I think we'll have enough.
We do have enough.
We do have enough. But we've got to, for 90 minutes, we've got to have that level.
We do.
That we had for the first 20 minutes. If we have that level, Hall Road may as well not turn up. But you never know. Football's a funny game.
And obviously the team's going to have to shuffle around a bit as well.
Yeah.
Because I believe the suspensions are immediate. Don't think I'm wrong in saying that. So,
No, they're not.
So,
It's 7 days, so we'll be able to play Saturday.
oh, so East is available on Saturday. Alright, okay.
That makes me feel a little bit better about myself.
But it will not be available on Tuesday night when we travel to Emley. Now, Emley, we said, Jack said, they're a good side at this level and they'll be up there. You said that you didn't believe that.
I said they're average.
And you said they were average. Now, they went to Selby and won 4-1 last night.
They went to the dysfunctional
Yeah,
club
that is true. That is the only thing I will say.
However,
that is first game of the season with Selby that are in trouble.
However, seeing that result last night, right, and having to go there next Tuesday is terrifying.
That could next Tuesday be the game of the season already.
Or do we channel something and we go there and beat them 1-0?
The thing is, though, Ash, I think we play better against the better sides.
We do play better.
Yeah, we do.
Because they open up more.
Exactly. A side that wants to play football, we
Yeah.
will probably beat, because I don't think you're going to find a better footballing side than us. But Emley's, I said this at the start of the year, they know what they're doing at this level.
They've been at this level for years
Yeah,
and
but
years
that's,
and years.
yes, well,
Yeah, but
that's the point.
For a lot of clubs, it's financial reasons that they're at this level for so
Yeah, but
long.
and you've got to remember there's a lot of clubs that are going to be yo-yo clubs as well.
They've been in this league, they've been in Division 1 for years. They had Ashley Flynn banging in 60 goals, he ended still couldn't bloody get up.
Yeah, well, so that doesn't matter, Walker. We've gone from a side that probably won't beat many teams in Alton to Emley, who will have a couple of good performances a month.
Alderton did it, was it 9 or 10 past Eastall last season?
Still, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Alderton we're going to win nowhere near as many games as Emley.
Granted, Emley are a better side than Alderton.
Exactly.
They're probably going to tear on and beat batterers after I've said all this now. So
I don't think they'll batter us. I don't think we'll get beat.
I'm apprehensive about going there. I I worried a little bit.
The thing is, mate, we're apprehensive about going anywhere because we look at the state of some of the grounds, we look at the state of some of the pitches, we look at the state of some of the players trying to play up to us as it being their cup final.
The big lads up front.
What's your philosophy?
Big bastard in the back, big bastard in the middle, big bastard up front.
There you go.
And it even goes to just goes boom.
Yeah, I mean, mate, that happens, and they are the sides who we've got to become more comfortable at beating.
I agree. I just think it's going to take us a few games just to get into a rhythm.
It might.
I'm worried that Emily game's come a little bit too early.
I probably agree with you there. I would rather have played Emily next month.
Yeah. Would I be surprised if we turn around and beat them 4-0? No, I wouldn't. But I would also be surprised if they beat us.
Can I get a word in?
Yeah.
Is that alright, you two?
You say enough.
Next week, is he going to sit with the Emily fans? That's all I want to know. There's a bit of an obsession with it.
Well, he does seem to like Emily.
Yeah.
What I will say is, Tuesday nights away from home are always difficult.
Yeah.
They're always difficult. We saw that last night, and it's going to be a different sort of game against Emily. I think we'll do alright. I think we'll get in. I don't know how to phrase it. It'll be more of a battle with them than young kids who were just sort of expressing themselves last night.
Also, another thing about Harrogate, you can tell they've been watching a lot of Premier League football. The amount of times they went down cold and stuff. So you're not going to get that Emily. They're going to be proper players in that team at Emily who are not going to do that.
Watch us get beat 1-0 after someone dives for a penalty.
If we do, I'll come on.
I'll tell you what.
I'll eat the piece of cake.
It'll be Sandker who does it.
I forgot about that.
I don't think he played last night.
I don't know.
I looked at that team.
Oh, I hope we get to see Jason. I do.
Don't think he played.
I'm looking forward to it. I look forward to every Thursday. I mean, let's face it, we ain't got a lot to look forward to other than this nowadays. So, and long may it continue, because it's been great being back. And, last night was good. We said today, didn't we? We had a great night. We drew 1-1, it was disappointing, but you were having a laugh with your mates on a Tuesday night away from home, supporting the boys. You could have been sat in watching the Bake Off.
Or Boris.
Or Boris, yeah. So, sorry Boris, about 120 people weren't listening to you because we were still watching the game at Ferriby.
Well, he's a big fan of the North Counties Eastern League. He's probably had one of the games on the TV.
Is he? I thought he'd be more of a #United fan.
No, I don't like that. Boris is a bit more down to earth.
Oh, right, okay.
God.
Fair.
I think. Well, I don't think Boris has ever been called down to earth in his life.
No. No, I think a few people would like to put him in the earth, but that's another story. Right, we'll finish off then. Predictions. So, Jack.
You can go first, Jack.
Hall Road, followed by Emily.
I think we will beat Hall Road 2-0. Same as last year, I believe. And I think Emily, I'm going to go for the big bad Billy tactic.
Yes, love it.
We'll go there and nick a 1-0.
Love it. The way to go.
Yep.
Now I've sat here and said I'm worried about Saturday. We'll win 1-0. We shall take. We need 3 points. Then we go to average Emily on Tuesday. We win 3-0 Emily on Tuesday.
After he's just given us a 10-minute sermon on how worried he is now.
I am worried, but I've just sat here and I've thought to myself, we've got a bloody good team. We're going to Emily, we're winning 3-0. They probably won't sell me a ticket now I've just said that.
Yeah, I will say a bit of a tangent. If you're watching, Emily Tuesday night is all ticket, so go on their Twitter or Facebook.
You can't be in an hour before kick-off, remember? You can only be in there an hour before kick-off.
Yeah, so go and buy your tickets, don't turn up because you won't get in.
Yeah. Right, I am going to say that we will beat Hall Road 3-0. And I think it's going to be a replica result next Tuesday. I think we'll draw 1 apiece at Emily, which will be a better point than last night was.
Yeah. I think I'll take it.
I would probably take that, but we need to win on Saturday. We need to start picking the points up, and I'm sure we will. But
yeah,
it's
We started off quite slow last year, though, didn't we? We didn't exactly blow the doors off teams early doors. Took us a couple of games to get going.
But we drew our first game last year.
And then we got lucky playing Eastall the second game.
Mm.
Even then we didn't blow them away.
No. So, you know, these things take time, but, you know, at least we didn't do a Skegness and get beat. So, we're doing okay there.
Maybe this league's going to look a lot different this year.
And
teams at the top.
Eastall, enjoy being above us, lads.
But
it ain't gonna last long.
What day are we having Jamie being in the paper?
Oh.
Friday, he's going to be stood there on Friday drumming up support.
With a £1 coin. Saying, give you a £1 coin if you come and watch us.
They're at Retford on Saturday.
Well, the fairy tale might be over, the honeymoon. Could have come to an abrupt end, I think. Because Retford are a big team.
Got a point at home.
They're a tough team, Retford. I can't see them getting. If they get anything at Retford, they may as well start engraving a name on the trophy. Well, there will be, won't they? Kev Red will have the trophy ready. Right, they're selling DVDs and all sorts.
Right. Before we get into trouble, thanks everyone as always for watching, for getting involved with Super 6. We'll send out this week's fixtures. The forfeit tin keeps rolling on. There's nearly 30 quid in it already and we've only played 2 games, so Leslie's going to be laughing come the end of the season. Yeah. We've got a busy week ahead. 2 more Ferriby games.
1 for me.
1 for you. So yeah, we will see you after the Hall Road and the Emily games.
Sayonara.
See you later.